New reporting today from our very own David Faber that Elon Musk's xAI just hit a fresh, eye-popping valuation. David joins us now on the CNBC Newsline. David.
Yeah, Leslie, as we reported earlier, xAI, of course, the AI company controlled by Elon Musk, is in the midst of another raise of capital, this for $10 billion that will bring its post-money valuation to some $200 billion. According to people who are familiar with the efforts that are underway. Amongst what I'm told is an investor group may also be the presence of Saudi Arabia's sovereign fund, the PIF, along with a number of other investors. Of course, as you well know, tracking this kind of area in the private markets as well, there have been no shortage of fundraisers along the last year. Most recently, it was only a handful of weeks ago or so that they raised about $10 billion, but half of that was in debt and half of in equity as well. And then from there on. And don't forget, of course, X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, is also now a part of xAI, having been merged into the company last March at roughly the value that Elon Musk purchased it at some years back, around $44 billion. But yeah, the latest raise, $10 billion, or it's going on now, raising $10 billion to bring it to $200 billion. It was only last November when I reported on a $6 billion raise at the time that would have valued xAI at $50 billion. Just to put in perspective the incredible accretion of value that's occurred at this company in a short amount of time.
Yeah, absolutely. Great reporting there. I'm curious kind of how this factors in with the story in the Wall Street Journal. I believe it was yesterday where they cited people familiar with the matter and said that some of the executive resignations, some of the turnover at xAI was because they felt like the company's financial projections were unrealistic to meet. In talking to sources, do you get the sense that the people who were willing to put up additional equity at a $200 billion valuation probably do believe that some of these financial projections are at least possible to achieve?
Yeah, or they certainly believe in Elon Musk, Leslie, I think is what you have to fall back on. I mean, listen, there is no doubt a great deal of competition right now, as you well know, whether it's amongst ChatGPT, which is the leader, or Alphabet's Gemini, or Grok, of course, which is a part of, which is xAI, and any number of others, and Meta spending, as we know, tens of millions, if not even more, to acquire talent as well in terms of the race going on. So you can imagine that there are certainly some questions as to whether all of these expenditures at some point are going to bring a significant return. And when it comes to xAI, that is really focused in part on what it's building now. At least some time back, they were calling it Colossus 2. I don't know what they're calling it now, but it's another data center, another almost supercomputer that they're building in Memphis to power Grok. And as you know, again, all of these companies need enormous compute. They're spending tens of billions on GPUs and data centers, and conceivably will be for years to come. So probably not the last time they'll be raising money without, of course, the key question as to what exactly the revenue picture will look like going out and what the free cash flow picture, certainly investors now hope, will also be over time.
Right. And just given the space that they're in, price and sensitivity may be more at the forefront as well. You mentioned Grok, and in recent months, they had kind of a reputational issue surrounding some violent and anti-Semitic content on the social media platform. That doesn't seem like it was an issue in terms of investors' willingness to put over dollars. Does that suggest that perhaps they've resolved it at this point, at least enough that people are still willing to invest $10 billion?
Yeah, I think you have to come back to Elon Musk and the value that he's created, and the fact that while certainly there has been a good deal of focus and some criticism as well, as we know, of his social media presence, not to mention some of the different efforts that have been underway at Grok, there are going to people who simply look at the creation of value at Tesla and SpaceX and believe ultimately they will end up with more money than what they put in when they invest in a Musk company. I do want to stop for a second, Leslie, given how closely you follow the capital markets, just to marvel. I mean, you and I have reported on plenty of IPOs through the year, $1 billion, $2 billion IPO, large IPO, maybe $3 billion, very large, right? Or significant. And to think that these companies in the private markets are raising as much as $10 billion at one time, it really is, when you step back, sort of a new world when it comes to these markets.
Yeah, it's remarkable. I remember when Facebook raised it, what was it, $100 billion valuation right before it went public, and everybody just thought that was the biggest thing ever. And that was right before its IPO. I guess that was, what, 2012. And now here we are, double that. And this is just one of a slew of companies raising at that level of valuation in the AI space right now. David, excellent reporting. Thanks for bringing us that exclusive report this afternoon. Appreciate it.